Movements November 18, 2016 bring warnings and watches for space weather and earthquakes. Right now in the sun on November 18, 2016, there's two AR sunspots. AR 2610 can produce a B-class solar flare, but it's moving away from the Earth, so we have nothing to worry about. While AR 2611 can produce a C class, and maybe later on this week could produce an X class solar flare. So keep an eye out on AR 2611 to the 22nd. Right now we're inside a coronal hole. There's a minor stream of solar wind that's going to be hitting the Earth on November the 19th. So from November the 19th, 24 to 48 hours till the 21st, warnings and watches for storms increase from the solar winds and also earthquake rises. Also, there is a big coronal hole that just popped up on the sun, and we got to see what's going to happen around November 20th. So I'm going to keep our eyes peeled and watch for this. So warnings and watches for around November 20th and 21st for the coronal hole with a lot of solar stream wind hitting the Earth's atmosphere around the 21st and 22nd. But right now it's just minor. But there's still warnings and watches till November 22nd for major storms, earthquakes from the small solar stream that's coming from a small coronal hole that's on the sun right now, but it's going to increase in size. And there's a big one as it's turning closer to the Earth. Let's move into earthquakes. Okay, we're going to start off with the Bay Area residents spooked by mysterious shaking. Some California residents have been left wondering why they feel their neighborhood shaking and yet no earthquake or sonic booms were being recorded. You guys could read the rest. So I'm going to put warnings and watches for California. The reason for this is we go to the seismic monitor, right? If you look at the west coast of the United States of America right now, it's really, really quiet. So I'm going to put warnings and watches for the west coast of the United States of America, California, Oregon, Washington State, and the west coast of Canada too, around Vancouver for a moderate to major earthquake until the 22nd of November. Okay, also when we look around the world, we can see that there's a lot of earthquakes happening in Mexico and on the west coast of South America around Chile, Peru, also out here around New Zealand, Australia. We know that New Zealand had that major earthquake that was a 7.8 earlier this week. So let's get into this and let's see what's going on. So we're going to go to the tech map. And we're going to see the energy is out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So I'm going to put warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquakes around the Ring of Fire, the interior of the Ring of Fire, and the Pacific. When we go to the tectonic plates where all the energy is at, I'm going to put warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquake in Central America, warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquakes on the west coast of South America, and warnings and watches for major earthquake in the northern part of South America for the next 24 to 78 hours. And I'm going to extend the watch because we're entering a solar stream of wind on November the 19th until the 22nd. Also, warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquakes around Hawaii, around Australia, the Philippines, New Zealand, all right, till the 22nd. So let's get into it, folks. So we're going to go to RSOE map, and we're going to look for moderate earthquakes, anything in the blue or abnormal. So we can see that there was a 2.6 earthquake in Hawaii, 2.5 in Hawaii. So I am putting warnings and watches, as we can see in Hawaii until the 22nd. As we zoom in, it's around Hawaii. You can see the red, the tectonic plate. Also the yellow where it's quiet. So warnings and watches For Hawaii, warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquake. Indonesia, we had a 3.4. Greece, 2.0. Alaska, 3.1. Italy, 4.0. Peru, 2.8. Italy, a 2.6. Germany, 2.4. Greece. So warnings and watches for moderate to strong earthquakes around Greece and Italy. Warnings and watches for moderate in Germany. Since Italy been getting hit with a lot of earthquakes every single month and every month, so I'm going to put that warning and watches for moderate to major earthquakes for Italy and Greece. Alright, as we move down, we had a 4.4 Mexico, 2.7 Oklahoma, 2.7 Oklahoma, 2.0 Greece, 4.9 Greece, 5.0 Greece. Warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquake, as I want to keep on repeating, for Greece and Italy, folks. 3.6 Chile, 3.2 Bolivia, 2.1 Hawaii, 2.1 Hawaii, 2.2 California, 2.2 California, and it's been quiet in California. So I believe that the energy on the plate is building up for a moderate earthquake that could be between a 5.0 and a 6.0 on the west coast of the United States of America, around California, Oregon, even up to Vancouver. Alright, so let's move down. We had a 2.6 in Italy. A little tremor, so after that big one that they had last month. 2.0 in California, another 2.0 California, a 3.4 in Bolivia, 2.5 Italy. Now here we go. We had a 5.3 in the Pacific Ocean in Tonga, 5.5 in the Pacific Ocean in Tonga, a 3.3 Chile, 3.0 Turkey, 4.0 Argentina, 2.7 Greece, 4.3 Alaska, 2.9 Oklahoma, 3.1 Chile, 3.5 in Alaska, 3.5 in Alaska, 3.1 in the Caribbean Sea, 3.3 in Colombia, 2.9 in Greece, a 3.3 in Chile, a 3.4 in Greece, a 2.7 in California, a 2.7 in California, 4.4 in Peru, a 3.2 in Italy, a 4.7 in Bolivia, and you can see two more in Hawaii, 2.1 in Hawaii, 3.3 in Chile, a 3.0 in Puerto Rico, a 4.5 in New Zealand, a 4.9 in New Zealand, 2.6 Oklahoma, 2.6 Oklahoma, 3.3 in Colombia, a 4.8 in Asia, a 4.5 in Bolivia, 3.1 in Chile, 3.2 Turkey, 2.0 Greece, 2.4 Greece, a 2.1 Greece, 5.1 New Zealand, 5.1 New Zealand, 2.8 Colombia, 2.8 Greece, 2.8 Oklahoma. So there's a lot of little earthquakes in Oklahoma, California, as we can see, in Greece, and they even had a moderate one that was a 5.0, a 2.8 in the United States in Oklahoma, a 3.6 in Mexico, 4.9 in Papua New Guinea. Now look at all these earthquakes. He had a 3.3, 3.1, a 3.2, a 3.3 Mexico, 3.8 Mexico, 3.7 Mexico, 3.6 Mexico, 3.2 Mexico, 3.5 Mexico. Alright, so let's go back to the seismic, and you can see all the earthquakes that's happening. So we see a couple days ago that they had earthquakes, the Bay Area, alright, and San Francisco Wednesday. The residents from San Jose to San Clara report feeling an earthquake on Tuesday, but the source of alleged shaking has yet to be discovered. It could be from fracking, but I believe not. So as we look at the world map, I'm going to put warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquakes until the 22nd, Mexico and Central America. Warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquakes in Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil. Warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquakes till November 22nd in the Central Pacific around Hawaii and the Eastern Pacific around Tonga, Indonesia. A moderate earthquake warning too also for Japan, moderate to major, another moderate to major earthquake for New Zealand, and a moderate to major earthquake for the Mediterranean Sea around Greece, Italy, and a moderate earthquake warning around Germany and France. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter. All the links are at the beginning of my YouTube page. I want everyone out there to be prepared. We did hit a supermoon. There's a lot of tension on our tectonic plates underneath our feet. There's a lot of drilling. We're going to get into deeper about that. And also we're in a solar stream one that's going to be buffering the Earth on November the 19th. So storms and seismic activity will grow. We have nothing to worry about any asteroids or meteorites coming close to Earth. We might have small meteorites, but nothing, no major impact. This is the No Face Movement. Moving to next time. Facing off.